Hi all. This is going to be my how to pass a funding challenge using calculations video. It's going to involve a spreadsheet. If you want to click away and remain unprofitable, feel free to do so. But if you want to actually pass the challenge, you need to do some maths. So let's get on with it. See, on propfirmmatch.com, I opened the challenges and came to the $10,000 challenge, which is basically the smallest account you need to make any money. A majority of them have a max loss of roughly 10%. Some have 8%, some have 6%. Some have a daily loss of 3%, some it's 4, some it's 5. I'm going to ignore the daily loss, assuming you take only one trade in a day. You're never going to risk more than this in a single trade anyway. You're just not allowed to do that. It would be against common sense to do that. Anyway, let's go to the spreadsheet and I'll be able to crunch some of the numbers. See, this is where you put in the inputs of your strategy, of your trading strategy. Let's say you have a 60% win rate, you put that over here. Do not add percentage here because the calculation involves a whole number. Don't mess up the calculation for the spreadsheet. Just add the number. Percentage is included here. The risk per trade. This is the initial balance, which is I'm putting in the max drawdown that is made here. Max drawdown that is the rule for the prop firm, the challenge that you're taking. So in a $10,000 account, if you have a 10% max drawdown, you put that amount here. That's $1,000. That's your initial balance. Target is, let's say, whatever is the largest target that is there. In Fivers, I saw the step one is 8%, step two is 5%, so total is 13%. So I put $1,300 as the target here. On this column, in this table, I'm simulating 20 days worth of trading, assuming you take only one trade in a day. One trade in a day, 20 days worth of trading. And this is the number you're left with at the end of 20 days. This is where the actual simulation occurs, and I simulate 10,000 possible monthly outcomes. 10,000 possible months are there, and here we calculate whether you've passed the challenge or not. What percentage of the time you pass the challenge, the best returns, the worst returns, whatever. See, if you play around with the numbers here, if you risk, let's say, 5% of the max drawdown, the worst becomes a whole lot better, as in this was 75% when you were risking 10% of your max drawdown per trade, but here it's a whole lot better. Like you're only going down to 50% of your max drawdown ever, but unfortunately, the rate of passing the challenge also goes down quite significantly. So you will take longer to pass the challenge. If you risk 25% of your max drawdown, let's say $250 you risk in each trade, in a 60% win rate, 1.5 to 1 reward risk ratio. 73% of the time you pass the challenge in the month, but there are times when you completely blow the account, nearly blow the account right here. See, 98% is you're basically blown the account. You have to do a fine balance between the two. So 30%, 72% again you're passing, but again you're blowing the account practically. 15%. This is better than blowing the account, but it's kind of close. But half the time you do pass the account, pass the challenge in a month. This is 10,000 outcomes, and this is roughly stable. It gives you more or less the same number over here. That's why statisticians generally use a 10,000 time kind of simulation. It's a kind of number, whatever. It's been observed to be a significant number. You can do this for 1 week as well. Instead of 20 days, you could have used 5 days, whatever. It doesn't matter. Over here, I simply select what passes this is the final balance must be uh, making this much in profit. So you add it to the initial balance. I use that to calculate here. This is the best win. This is the worst drawdown, whatever returns are being generated in a month. 10,000 times out of the 10,000 times. You can risk 10% again. The max drawdown gets a whole lot better, but it's not as stable as you'd like sometimes. It's hovering between 67 and 75% when you're risking 10%. But you're passing the challenge 56% of the time. So maybe You can risk a little more because 73% of the time you will pass the account, pass the challenge in a month. You'll either pass the challenge or you'll blow the account within the month if you're risking a quarter of the balance. Maybe that's worthwhile for you. You have to do the calculation like that. Some people trade challenges in a manner that is, they'll take three challenges. If they pass one of them, that's good enough for them. Or they'll buy four challenges. If they pass uh, two of them, that's good enough for them. At the end of the month, they can get a payout and it's faster. So you can use the failed challenges simply as an expense. Some of them use that. But if you're not using that kind of strategy and money is tight for you, your challenges are important to you, then you have to accept that it might take you 2 months to pass the challenge. 55% of the time, 56% of the time, you're passing the challenge by risking only 10% of your initial balance. But that means within 2 months, you're almost guaranteed to pass the challenge, right? So it depends on your strategy as well. Imagine if this was not 1.5, it's 1 to 1. The pass rate goes down quite significantly. Maybe it's worthwhile for you to risk a little more. But you're again either passing or you're blowing. It's not really a great strategy, 1 to 1 and 60% win rate. You can play around with this data. It'll tell you how to pass the challenge, which is the best method to pass the challenge. You can figure it out for yourself. If you want to download the spreadsheet, it's available in my Telegram channel. I'm going to add this updated spreadsheet there as well. This is going to be clearly more functional than the previous one. Sorry about that. I hope you learned something from this video. Until next time, good luck and good trading.